Alright everybody, once again, we are back. It's time to talk about terrible moves in fighting games. And today, I have someone a little different. I have Gal Winquote. What's going on, man?
What's up, what's up? Yeah, I feel like the point of my channel is to convince people that certain fighting games are cool, so I don't really ever spend time on what sucks or what moves just don't work in my videos. So this should be pretty fun. This should be pretty interesting. I think most of the people on your channel are actual pro gamers, so you know they're focusing on more contemporary, more modern games. So I think I have a decent spread of goofiness to show today. First of all, let's start with the classic Street Fighter 4, and with one of the coolest characters in the game, Dudley. I feel like from Third Strike to Street Fighter 4, everything that makes Dudley cool, you know, he's got like the juggles, the EX moves, whatever. But in Third Strike, his gameplay kind of revolves around looping his 50-50 at the end of the day. But in this game, they kind of like evolved on the combo-ness because he has a lot of really cool links. Like he can do the gamer one that feels good is that one. Medium punch into roundhouse, that's such a good link. And if you're good at this game, you can link all of those together in one sequence, but I'm not smug. I don't know how the hell he did that on a 360 controller. But they also gave Dudley something that they actually removed from Third Strike. Because usually when games update, you know, it's very rare to see a move just get outright like taken out. But from New Generation to Second Impact to Third Strike, they actually removed the move, and for whatever reason they gave it back to him in Street Fighter 4. But Dudley has a flash kick where he goes up and he comes down, and based on whatever strength you're doing is, you know, where he lands, and there's no way to like combo into this as far as I know. Maybe there's some niche way that I've just never heard of off of like, you know, yeah, maybe, I don't know. But like, you know, like Dudley has like juggle points on everything. He can even like, if I can hit it, you know, he can juggle point into his overhead, you know, he can do all this stuff, but for whatever reason, he has this move. You can't do anything with it. The EX version tracks, and you are, for whatever reason, you're able to, you know, FADC if you want to. So, but I don't know. I think maybe it was just like a goofy fun thing. Like, hey, remember that move that just didn't work in New Generation and Second Impact? Let's bring it back. The only use case I can think of is you wake up with it, because it does have invincibility frames. But I mean, you could just DP or like, you know, FADC out. I guess like as a surprise, like, hey, like if you're playing a first to 10 with someone, like, hey, did you forget this move? You know, that's the only thing I can think of, because it does like all right chip, you know, but, and it can like, I guess if you're, let me hold two controllers real quick. You know, I guess it could like do weird cross up stuff if someone's like dashing or something, but I don't know. I don't know why he has this move, because obviously the Third Strike developers, they didn't even know what to do with this move. I don't think, you know, I would watch Smug all the time. You know, he's the GOAT. I don't think, I can't recall a situation where this ever came out. Even on like, you know, if you're like playing against zoning or something, you know, the risk reward is just not there at all. So I really do feel like this is just a straight up useless move.
Okay, so for people who are watching, you would see me right now, and of course you see Lord Gal Winquote, but he doesn't see me. I like paused when you did that. I was like, what is that? Like this looks like a Mugen move. Like I didn't know. I'm not saying I'm like a Street Fighter 4 expert or anything, but it looks so out of place for Dudley to like basically do like a Psycho Crusher off the top of the screen, basically.
If I showed you this and I was like, oh, is this like an Omega move or vanilla or like Super Street Fighter 4 move? You know, most people would probably think it's like, yeah, it's got to be an Omega thing,
or like a mod.
No, yeah, you know, because even back then you couldn't combo into it. So I don't know why. And in a game with like parries, I don't know why it was added.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know why it's here.
Yeah, the only thing I can probably say is that I feel like fighting game developers are not that great at making boxing characters. You know, in Persona, there's Akihiko, and
Of course.
they totally reworked how his like boxing stance worked between the original and Ultimate. Because the problem was you could solve his boxing stance. So I feel like they just make a character. This is also the same for like Makoto and BB. They like change her a bunch of times over the years. And I feel like they have this concept for a boxing character, and then like people play the version for a while, and they're like, wow, this is not what we wanted at all. And they just change stuff, take away moves, add new moves, like over and over until they're satisfied. Maybe they forgot he had it in 4. Maybe they forgot that.
I should have looked up like the balance changes between super all the way to ultra. Like, did they ever do anything with this move? I like really doubt it, because I mean, we got all the way to ultra and you still would never ever use it unless, yeah, you're doing the first to 10 and you're playing your best friend who knows everything about you, and in a heated moment you just wake up, do this, because it's like, what the hell even is this?
Okay, that's a strong start. I have something for you that's not quite similar, actually. Not quite similar. Once I talked about supers that are bad, I think, with Jamcrofts. And there was a specific super that everyone was like, why did you not talk about this super? This super does not belong to my longtime Exerd main, Milia, but it's Bedman. Bedman is new to Exerd. He's like a original to Exerd. And he has 2 supers. He has his reversal super. This move kind of is in Strive. It basically looks the same. But the other super he has is not in Strive. And this is the move everyone was like, this move is terrible. Why did you not mention it? And it is this move. It's Hemi Jack. So what does this move do? This move is strong in concept. So it acts independently of Bedman. It can like tank hits. It has a little bit of tracking. If I get hit by this super for any reason, then I get instantly stunned, and it's unblockable. Sounds great. The problem is, and this is why I didn't remember it being a bad move, I don't know why they did this. And when I was looking into this move on my own, I was like, when did they do this change? So look at the move in its total duration, right? So it's chilling, I'm having a bad dream, I'm counting my sheep as I sleep, and it just goes away. For whatever reason, they nerfed it in this patch, like the last Exit patch, so it doesn't go grounded at all. So not only is it super slow to start up already, but it just doesn't hit grounded opponents. So I don't really know how he's supposed to use this move, really, because it doesn't hit grounding opponents. The main thing it does is it makes you scared to jump, I guess, but it's a super, and okay, fine, it's a super, but Exert is a 25-meter game, not like Strive's like a 50-meter game. This game's a 25-meter game, and Bedman has really good uses for meter because of his like character-specific thing, where he can leave things on the screen and then like recall them. So he's able to like leave things on the screen and also like wire see it and move independently of them for half the meter. And on top of that, also this has like really bad meter penalty on top of that, because they gave it additional meter penalty, if I read the patch notes right. I'll show you the original version of the move too, because luckily this is not, I mean, you did have Street Fighter 4. You did have Street Fighter 4, but many games don't have version select like this.
This happened to be like the 2 games ever.
And especially Rep 2.1, I do remember playing as Bedman players in tournament who would occasionally use the move. Like occasionally they would bust it out.
I mean, because yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, Exert's a game that a lot of characters spend in the air, dashing around. So in concept, it sounds incredible.
Yeah. So this is what it used to look like. So it was way scarier before. I don't know if they were afraid of him doing unblockable setups, which is valid, but this is the game with Jonathan. You may know him as Johnny.
Yeah, I was about to say, this seems like, you know, like Johnny like Mist that, you know, does it for you.
Yeah.
That you don't have to, you know, you just let it go.
Yeah, it does it. So like I was kind of similar to like me being shocked by Dudley. I was kind of surprised by that, because I did play 2.1, not for that long, but I have memories of people using this move for sure. So in my head, this move is not a bad move, and this version specifically is not a bad move. Just for some reason,
does that version also track in the air as well?
Labbing Revelator Bedman in 2025. Let's go. Yeah, it's following me. Yeah, it follows you.
It does.
Yeah,
it
they
does.
just they just nerfed it, and I don't really know why or what they were really thinking. Besides, they thought it was unfair. But like Alpha and Johnny and like I was like Zato has unblockables. There's like a couple of
A
characters.
lot of culprits. I was never the greatest Exert player. I actually have, whenever I did play this game at locals, I could beat, a few people, and then, funny enough, the Bedman player would show up, and it's like, man, this character's complicated. Like, he's actually playing the game. I don't know what the hell's going on. So, in my head, I've always had the idea that, like, Bedman is he's a more complicated character. And so I feel like, he should be allowed to have some goofy, strong tools, because the player's hopefully thinking a lot,
Unlike like what you said with Dudley, where you were like, yeah, like they gave it to him. I don't really know why. I don't really think there's a use for it, but it's here. This one was like, I was just like, dude, they did that? Like and I think it's probably gonna be a theme for like many bad moves. It's either like people forget or like people don't know they made a certain change unless you play the character. I'm sure people who play Bedman or have played Bedman were like, oh yeah, done. The last version they nerfed it and now it's ass. But like if you don't play them, you probably weren't thinking about it that much.
And also, yeah, I feel like most people playing Exard now are probably people who like picked it up at the end with Rev 2, so they've never had to see how they massacred the sheep,
Yeah, true. But yeah, what else do you have for us today?
For the next bad move I want to talk about, I want to introduce a little game called Asuka 120% Limit Over. Not to shill a little, but I just put out a video on this game. But this game, it has a lot of foundations for the anime fighter genre, and a lot of the ideas from this game directly went to French Bread for Melty Blood and all of the other Japanese doujin games. But I just want to showcase that character strength in this game is extremely strong, because you can guard cancel for free off of anything. Characters have extreme tools like fireballs that they can jump cancel on whiff and block and stuff. This is Combo Breaker Losers Final, and that was a clash, and now off of one hit, they get stunned.
And then just taking
Crab
from
punch,
one corner to
crab
the other.
punch.
We got the combo.
And they are dead off of a clash in mid-screen. So yeah, character strength is extremely strong in this game. And the character that just won, by the way, that's the best character in the game. And the community actually nerfed her by utilizing the in-game handicap, where they like literally turn her damage down. And that happened with her damage down.
Oof.
So just to, kind of introduce what kind of game we're dealing with here. I want to talk about a character that maybe is not as strong, but is also really cool and interesting, because I want to call them like the proto-Venom to Guilty Gear. She can throw softball, and then she can hit it back. And she can throw a bunch of softballs, and in this game, stuff clashes. I'm using 2 controllers again. There's a lot of cool things you can do. You can do some loops and stuff, but the issue is that not many moves of hers like actually utilize the softball, where like a lot of her moves will instead just like catch the softball instead of like bouncing it back. So anyways, that's not even what I want to focus on, because her other moves, she has like a bat DP, which is cute, cool, but she also has this like launcher into like, I guess like she can combo into it, and she also can do the second part of it just straight up in the air. This game, you can clash with any button, and you can everything clashes, and then you can like cancel into like super jump and everything. So already a move like that is very linear. And since everything can clash and everything can guard cancel, it's not the best move already. But, it's still something that you can get some good mobility, air mobility on, get out of the way. But what makes it just horrible, and this is like ridiculous, is for whatever reason, they didn't finish the move. Because if you hit with just the dive kick, there's no hit stun. There's no hit stun on this move whatsoever. If you do the grounded version and then get into, you know, just like that part, there's still no hit stun. You have to, you know, hit the whole thing to get some kind of hit stun off of that. Yeah, so in a game where if you block this, you're already dead, because like everything can be guard canceled. Now you just also have something that you don't even need to guard cancel. You don't need to do anything. It just doesn't work. Like as a testament to like how much it doesn't work, if I, you know, just like do this a few times and then do a combo, the game will count all of those hits that I just did, because I guess the game is still registering that like, oh, this is part of the combo, because I guess it never like, the move never finished. I don't know the code behind it, but the move is not finished, and it really hurts this character because to make it worse, this game Limit Over is technically a patch of another game called Limited, Asuka 120% Limited. So this is a dev patch that came out unofficially. Watch my video, whatever. Basically, the developers came out with a game. They went bankrupt, and they went back and decided to patch their game unofficially. So we went through 2 revisions. This move still didn't get finished. Yeah, very unfortunate in a game where someone can one-touch you and you die. Very unfortunate in a game where everything is guard cancelable and you can die. It's probably the worst move, and that's just because it's literally not finished.
No, that is pain. That is pain.
Yeah.
I mean, minus on hit is already pain, but like, and punishable on hit is also already pain. But if everyone's like killing you in one hit and stuff, wait, does that affect like scaling then? Like, if you do it a bunch and then you swing later, it like affects the scaling.
You know,
later?
that is a very brilliant question that I actually don't know.
Because that would be a bad thing.
Yeah, not that you would ever be able to get that anyways, you know? But maybe, I don't know.
So, the next game I have for you is Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Technically, the move I'm going to talk about is in all the Persona fighting games. I'm saying all, like there's many, but there's really 2, you know. Anyway, by the way, vanilla Persona is like probably my favorite fighting game. Great times, sad times, good moments, hype stuff, all that stuff. I main this game too, and unlike the Hemijack thing, which is lightly excusable, it's the last version of Exerd. You know, I was like half checked out because of Dragon Ball during that time. Like, okay, fine. This was in the game since release, and I quite literally forgot the move existed. And I did not really recall ever running into this move being used ever. It is on not my old main, Mitsuru, who we love.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's no way.
There's no way.
I thought you were going to Yukiko at first. I was like, okay, like,
No.
all right.
It is on normal Labrys. For people who don't play this game, it is the Persona fighting game. So a licensed IP. And Arx is pretty good with licensed IPs of putting in mechanics that are like reference the original IP. So this game has a mechanic called Awakening that Mitsu's in right now. That when you go under 30% HP, you get like a new super, and you get 50 meter automatically, and you get a defense boost. And you also get this cool little cut-in. The supers are usually, there's like different types. There's like utility supers. Labrys has one. This super is pretty good. It's not the best super of all time, but it's a pretty good super. It's plus, you know, it's multi-hits. You get to do mix-ups of it, blah, blah, blah. Some people have combo supers like Mitsuru, so you could use this for combos. Famously, you would see this from Shadow Mitsuru. I'm not going to do it right. And side note, for people who play Persona, I have done this to somebody. The one time someone did this move to me in tournament, I did do the right punish. There's a very extreme punish for the thing I'm about to show you. Normal Labrys has 2 Awakening Supers. That's not common. So this is the normal one that people would know. This other one you probably only know if you actually play the game, and it's probably the worst super in the game. It's called Brutal Impact. What does this move do?
Not damage, apparently.
There's a couple of problems with this move. The obvious one is that it's slow. This is the A version. I'm in Ultimax, so there's actually 3 versions of this move. In Vanilla, there's 2. So that's the A version. This is the B version. Okay, let's give her time. Takes her a while. Then there is the EX version. And again, she's a slow robot, so it takes a while for her. Problem number one is the character has a unique mechanic. You can see the little axe on the bottom. So the Labrys mechanic is the more that she rushes you down, the more that this changes. And as it goes to green, green is normal, and then yellow is like almost ready. And then if you're really cooking, you'll get red X. Now, if I do this super with red X, the EX version, with red X, oh, I got yellow X because I stopped for 2 seconds. Okay, it does way more damage in yellow X, right? And it drains your axe, right, to gray, which is the lowest. With the understanding that awakening is something that you get when you're dying, and you get access to this when you're losing, big problem number one is how do you actually get red X for this move? You only get it for getting beat up. You only get the benefits if you're cooking them, but basically the only time you'd have a chance to do it is if you're losing the whole time and then you start winning the whole time, but in a way when you're not like hating them because you want to be like, oh, I want to
not interacting with them.
Yeah,
like, at all.
which you can't do. Which you can't do anyway.
Decide to lock in at the very last moment, I guess.
This is when games started to tell you what was happening more often, and those two like exclamation points means the move is unblockable, so you can't block this move. But also it's just super slow. So like, how do you have to try to get hit by this?
Yeah, are you able to like release that early at all? Is it like there's no mind game to it? It's just
no. You just get cooked. It does armor stuff. Like if someone swings into this, right? And you're like, okay, cool. It's a counter with a guard point. But the problem is you hear the guard point, the little king, right?
Yeah.
So I'm out.
Oh my god.
I'm out. There's certain characters that could like IK this. Should be this version. Let's get out the way. Boom. This is my instant kill. These are punishing. Full screen tracking instant kill. If she does it, it's so slow that you just do this. She probably doesn't hit you. Even if you screw up, it's fine. Like, it didn't hit me anyway. It just takes way too long. There are characters that can, like, counter it. And the real painful thing is that Shadow Labrys, not Shadow normal Labrys, actual Shadow Labrys, the one with the bull, to my memory, she can combo into hers. She has the same move, too. She can combo into hers. But this one can't.
Yeah, so I don't want to just talk about one game. I want to talk about some moves in a series that I've been getting pretty familiar with. I've been falling in love with KOF. You know, the joke is that I'm a white boy. I don't know. I know crouching medium kicks into fireballs. I don't know anything about hopping. But recently, I've been getting really into the King of Fighters. Probably become one of my favorite series now. And the cool thing about the King of Fighters is that once you learn how to play one of them, you can go back and play like all of them. So that's what I've been doing. I've been going through all of the old King of Fighters. And this right here is King of Fighters 99. This is the first entry to the Nest saga with like K-Dash and stuff. And this game has strikers. You can call like assists out and get, you know, little combos off of whatever. The character I have right now is Takuma. You know, he's like a powerful character in the lore, you know? But in King of Fighters 99, he has a move that just I don't know why he has it. So he has a fireball, he has like a little you know, like a little punch, he has like this charge move, but he also has, if you do down punch, which is very strange motion for the King of Fighters. You know, the King of Fighters doesn't usually have inputs like this. If you do down punch, he does this little
key charge?
This little key charge. And if you hold it, you know, he builds some key, all right? If you pay attention to his key charge or his meter underneath his life bar, if he holds this all the way, he builds 12 meter. Okay. That's all he can do. He can't dash cancel this. He can't, you know, jump out of this or do anything out of this. This is just purely a key charge. So if you let it rock the entire time, he gains 12. If you just do like a regular, you know, just normal into that, you know, you gain 14. If you just block that, like block a fireball, you know, it does 11. Economically, it doesn't make any sense why you would ever, you know, like want to key charge. And no, like just in case you're wondering, there's nothing like special about it. You get hit out of it, and not only do you get hit out of it, you get counter hit, you know? So it's really bad. There's literally no reason why this move exists. like genuinely. And they would end up removing it. The cool thing about King of Fighters is that when you go from, you know, King of Fighters 96 to 97, your character could be using the exact same sprite, but their entire moveset will change.
Wow.
Like characters literally go from Shotos to charge characters in like just like yearly like game. If I look at King of Fighters 2002,
Bro, they were putting out KOF games like Madden.
no, legitimately, yeah. It's really insane to think about that. Like, the developers probably had like 6 months, you know, because they would have to market it, they would have to do all this stuff. So I can't imagine how miserable it would have been. But they ended up with some cool stuff and, you know, doing some cool stuff with characters. But so now we have him in 2002 UM, and thankfully, let me grab my other controller. He still has it, but it's not a key charge. It is like a guard point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a guard point, and this guard point can, you know, even do like fireballs and stuff. So, pretty cool. That move did get removed. I still don't know what they were thinking, but I also want to look at another move, and we're gonna go to Orochi Shermie.
Can I ask you something?
Yes,
Okay,
of course.
because I don't know SNK lore, and I've never found an appropriate time to ask this.
Okay. Hopefully I can answer.
So, what other Orochi character is there, for example, right? There's like Orochi...
It's gonna be, so basically the Orochi characters, there's a god essentially in the KOF universe that these dudes want to resurrect.
Okay.
And so we have Yashiro, Shermie, and Chris. They're like the main Orochi characters. They're in a band. I don't understand that part of the lore, but they're also part of like an evil god cult.
Okay.
That's trying to resurrect the god Orochi. And so they all have Orochi form.
Okay. I was always curious why, because like KOF SNK characters have like the Dragon Ball thing going on when they have alternate forms, and I always thought Orochi Shermie was very random.
Who's Kusanagi? Like, look at this. This is evil Ryu Kyo,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, the KOF lore is really crazy. Like, you literally go from like people just fighting in a tournament to resurrecting God to fighting android terminators, you know?
Okay, I'm glad you knew. I was like, okay, why does this exist? Why is there evil Shermie?
What I think is funny though is like those three characters are in like a rock band together. That's what I think. It's like, what? Like, why are you guys in a rock band together, but also in an evil cult that's like trying to like wipe out humanity? In KOF 2002 you have supers called Super Desperation Supers that you can only do when you're about to die. They're also called Max 2s. Orochi Shermie's is pretty interesting. See, she has like these zoning fireballs, or not zoning, but like, you know, she can control space with these fireballs. They go in different, you know, distances, and then she can hop around it, be goofy, whatever. But her Max 2 super is also based on these fireballs, but it's a little goofy because if I hit you with it, we get this cool cutscene, and it does a lot of damage when it hits, but it can also not hit because this super is random. So Shermie just got annihilated, and there's nothing you can do about it because just to even do the super, you have to have low health. And so you get the super, you hit it, and it's just a roulette. There's no reason you would ever want to do this unless you just don't care. Maybe you're 3 characters up on someone or something, you know, and you just it can. I've never seen it. Apparently, I've read the wiki, and it says like there's a very small chance, but I spent like last night like doing it like 20 times in a row, and I've never seen it miss. And I tried to look it up on YouTube. I've never seen it miss. Maybe it's a urban legend. I don't know. But yeah, I've never seen it miss.
Okay.
Just a very funny, and other characters have really strong max 2s, by the way. Some characters can combo into them. A lot of them are unblockable. A lot of them are like command grabs, and they all do around like half health. So she just randomly has a goofy one, you know. Are you willing to gamble? Fighting games are all about gambling at the end of the day. So I have one more for the last KOF move I want to go over. I want to go back to 98, which is, you know, you either fall into like 2 camps with King of Fighters. do you like neutral or do you like combos? I like combos, so I don't play 98. This is the pure footsies neutral game. I say that like there's not a bunch of really evil, ignorant stuff in this game, because there is, but this is like the footsies, you know. This is true fundamental KOF. We have Leona, you know, she has all of her iconic moves. You know, she has her flash kick. I swear every single time I get hit by this move, I feel like I need to put like $1 into a jar just to like teach myself. It's like in flash kick but guile, but like worse. because charges and KOF are like so short. But she has that. She also has like her little bomb that she can throw. But she also has a projectile that does not show up in Mini King of Fighters. And thank God, because
wow,
that is the projectile. And she can't act out of it. I'm not controlling this. This is not Amelia thing, or, you know, like I'm not controlling any of this. This is, you have 2 strengths. They go in this trajectory, and I'm like switching controllers, but let me try clear if I can hyper hop with my, you know, other, yeah, you know. And she's just stuck in that the entire time. There's nothing that she can do. This is a game where, like, I mean, Rio doesn't have like a normal fireball, you know. All the other characters, all the other Shotos just have normal fireballs. The only reason you would ever do this move is if you somehow messed up her Tiger Knee V-slash super. Her super is quarter circle forward, half circle back in the air. And you can Tiger Knee it if you're good. And I'm not good, so I just got that move. I'm not a gamer. See, I'm getting punished. I'm getting punished by this move. I can't do it right now, but just know that I'm getting punished because I'm trying to Tiger Knee it. You know, I'm trying to Tiger Knee this, and it's a good super. You know, it's a good super to go for. You know, if you're actually going for it. You know, this move purely exists. Hurt green goes with no execution like me.
Yeah, the overlapping input seems really pain. These feel like really direct, like, yep, like, what's the point of this? Or like, what's the point of this? Or whoops.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
And the only reason that like it is saved is because, yeah, they were popping out King of Fighters like you know, like Madden games, like Call of Duties. You know, you had one. If Leona had this terrible move, guess what? 6 months later, she'll have a new one. Don't worry about it.
It's all good. It's all good. The game I have to share with you. It's the first ever on this series.
You know, this is probably my most requested game to talk about.
Really?
And my response always is, dude, I don't have the execution. Like,
really,
how am I supposed to talk about this game, man? I could do some Salder stuff, you know, but
this is a pretty old game. This is Arxis. This is like before Blaze Blue. This game came out. This game came out like 2005 or something. But this is not broken moves. There's a lot of broken stuff in this game, but this is not broken moves. This is bad moves. So, fan favorite character Jagi is gonna be the one. Jagi is not considered to be a strong character by any means, but he's a loved character by people who play the game. For people who are not familiar, so you have like light punch, light kick, heavy punch, heavy kick, kind of like honestly SNK games. Like I just played Fatal Fury, has like the same button layout. And you have a boost, and Jagi is not a good character. I know I'm repeating myself. I'm repeating myself because there's a few things I could pick from Jagi actually that would be suitable for this video. So instead of doing like, why does he have this, or like the move doesn't work, or like I forgot about the move, I'm going to kind of go for a haha funny. There's a reversal of his that I'm going to pick, right? So there's layers to this move I'm about to show you and why it's bad. So one is his heavy punch button, right? He swings a shotgun from far. When he's close, he does like this swipe. When he's far, he does this. His taunt, he tosses his shotgun. The bar's kind of in the way. There you go. This reversal. There's layers to why this move is bad. So the obvious one is you have to taunt first. There's steps to it, right? When the gun is on the ground, you have this still. You're close to me, but he loses a move. He can't. I'm mashing C right now, and I'm doing nothing. So I lose a button by doing this.
Insane.
Right? You lose a button by doing this taunt. Problem number 2 is there's the condition. Why was I missing the reversal so much? And you can't be, it's a little hard because of the bars at the bottom, but there's the gun, right? You can't be close to the gun. You gotta be like, let's say he hits me here, right? I am on this gun, and the game was like, no, you're not. The gun is literally right there. I was here, and the game said no. You have to be perfectly on top of the gun to do it. Again, the game did not give it to me. The move is literally you just mash C. That's it. Yeah, there I'm in the correct spot, and the game gave it to me. And when you do it, you get your gun back.
I did not know that he had this at all. That's legitimately like, you know, bad move aside, like it's really cute, really cool. I think it's in character,
For sure.
of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not even if it wasn't like, you know, even if you didn't have to be like pixel perfect on the gun. Yeah, it's like, when are you ever going to like get this off? But
and the thing is, like, let's say you're into Third Strike. You talk about Dudley, and Dudley, you would see. I would be like, oh, you have to taunt to do this move. That's one of the reasons why it's bad. But like, there are, and probably besides Third Strike, there are games that like, oh, you taunt and like something good happens because you taunt. Like Q gets like the defense buff, right? And like,
yeah,
Dudley's taunt is the rose, I believe, right? So those are like positive benefits. But instead, you get a negative benefit. Like he talks shit and gets rid of a button at the same time. And now you can't do this. Nor can you do like, he has a projectile you can do. He has a fireball. I believe it's this. So when you taunt, you can't do it anymore. So you lose any move that's shotgun related until you get the gun back, which...
And that's the only way you could pick it up, is off a reversal or...
So outside the reversal, it's actually like Millions pin.
Okay.
So you have to like run over and like teabag it real quick, and then you get it back.
I need to know if like someone has set this up perfectly in like a tournament. I don't even think so, because like how many chances are you gonna get to even reversal in H&K? A lot of the times, you know, you get touched once, and it's like, well, here we go.
The game's not like super one touch. It's usually like round one, you kind of play. You play the game. Some character, you know, that's Rao. If he touches you, it's like okay, GG. But like you mostly play the game. It's usually like round 2, round 3 where like the super Mimi stuff happens, especially with like top tiers. There are moves, again, there's a lot of moves in this game that would be fitting for a video like this that have been used in competition at least once, right? So I mean this game's like a treasure trove of just like both really broken stuff and like really bad stuff at the same time, all accurate to the source material too.
I don't hate this. I love this, actually. I think this is so cool. And now I want, you know, next Guilty Gear Soul to flick you off and throw his sword off, you know.
If only. But yeah, that's the last one I had. Where can the people find you?
Guile and Quote on YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever. Google Guile and Quote, you will find me, and I will be talking about games with $20 pop bonuses that came out 30 years ago.
No, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having me.